Hello everyone, welcome to Shade's Tarot Tea. So today guys, I am so excited. Oh my god, I am doing a reading on the beautiful Marilyn Monroe. I've been wanting to read on her for like the longest time, but every time I go to, I just don't have the energy and it sucks because I'm just like, fuck, like I really want to read on her. So if you guys are interested in Marilyn Monroe, I know there have been a lot of tarot readings on her, so hopefully we'll see what I pull differently. Now guys, I am a fan of Marilyn Monroe, but just keep in mind that that does not deter my reading of her. Sometimes I get on in the comments that I'm biased. Guys, I am not biased. Like, if I'm gonna be biased, I will not read on them. Let me just say that right now. A lot of times when I do my Camila Cabello reading, a lot of people get pissed. They're like, oh, you just, like, you're so biased. Like, you're just saying that because you like her. No, guys, like, a lot of the things that come out about Camila is spirit talking. That's not me. Like, come on, guys. Like, if I'm gonna be biased, then why do a reading? That's stupid. So, if you guys believe that, then just click off of my channel because I don't care how much I like the artist. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. And I say that all the damn time, but I still get those stupid comments. So guys, I just said that to say this. Just because I like Marilyn Monroe, that doesn't mean that I am not going to say what I have to say about her, even if it ain't pretty. You know what I mean? Marilyn wasn't innocent a lot of times. Like, I do feel that from her energy. She is a Gemini, so she does, I hate to say this about Geminis, but certain Geminis can, you know, they're the twins of the zodiac, so they can channel their darker side. That's kind of how I view Geminis. Like, they have a good side, they have a bad side, they have a crazy side, they have a, you know, G-Eazy talks about this all the damn time, right? He's a Gemini. So guys, like, I'm not being biased when I talk about Marilyn. I'm just keeping it real on my channel, and if it comes out that I like her a lot, I'm sorry, but I'm also listening to spirit. Just keep this in mind. I understand that Marilyn did not move a lot of times in the best way. But keep in mind, guys, a lot of her life, I'm hearing orphan. She was an orphan. So she did not learn things properly. She did not learn to handle things a lot of times in the best way. Okay? And I've read like a little bit about her in a biography, but again, that does not taint my reading of her. So let's go ahead and get into Marilyn Monroe's reading. Okay, so as I said that, guys, I got the Solitude in the reverse card. You know what's interesting is that Marilyn Monroe has her energy pulled on so fucking much. Like, people do not want her to rest, and it's really disheartening for me to hear that from spirit, that she has not crossed over. She is not crossed over, kind of like I was saying about Aaliyah. Like, she hasn't had the chance to fully accept herself for a lot of the things that happened in her life. And I think it was too that she either there's some rumors that she was murdered, or that she was she overdosed. And I'm actually hearing, guys, that she was murdered. I'm hearing that, not that she overdosed. Like, I heard that she was murdered, and it was through the reason people feel like it was through her overdosing, because she had some addiction to pills, pain pills, them doping her up. I'm hearing that it was through that they killed her. She's telling me that she was murdered. So that's crazy that she's already coming through for me. That's crazy. And that breaks my heart that I'm hearing that so clearly, guys. It's just so crazy. My gift has been getting a lot stronger. It's kind of scaring me. But I'm hearing that very clearly for her. And normally, sometimes certain things like this don't come through clear for me, but I'm hearing I was murdered. I was murdered. And that's why it's been so hard for her to rest. You know, she's constantly in this loop, I'm hearing. So we'll see what else comes out for her. I'm feeling like, guys, if you're wondering, I'm feeling like it's okay to pull on her. I feel like Marilyn wants me to pull on her, so, and she knows, like, I love her. So let's go ahead and get started. So she is a sun in Gemini, her moon is in Aquarius, her Mercury is in Gemini, her Venus is in Aries, her Mars is in Pisces, and she is a Leo rising. So automatically what I'm hearing from her chart too, and what she's telling me, is that she hates that people think she's stupid. Like, for the most part, I've always kind of heard this about her. Spirit wise, like intuitively, I've always heard that Marilyn, it's never sat well with Marilyn that people think she's stupid, because she was someone that, even as a little girl, she was very introspective. She was very astute for her age. Like, there's people that would have conversations with Marilyn, and like, when she was younger, I'm hearing, like, she would tell them things like, hey, like, oh my god, like, this and that. Oh my god, I'm getting emotional because she's getting emotional. Oh my god, stop, Marilyn. But it really bothers her that people, like, this has always been the thing that she hated about living, is people always wanted her to be in this certain role. Like, you have to be this dumb blonde. Like, you have to be this dumb type of personality. You have to be this very voluptuous character. She felt very much like a caricature. You know, she felt like no one ever took her seriously, and that's never sat well with her. Especially, she never got the opportunity to be her fullest potential, you know. And she's actually telling me that people think she was murdered because of the Kennedys. No, she actually, yes, she did know things about, you know, John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy. She's telling me the Kennedy family. She did know a few things, but Kennedy moved very privately. She's telling me, I don't know what John F. Kennedy's sign is. I'm getting Earth from him. What was his sign? I'm gonna put it below. But he's very private. He's very private, and she's telling me that a lot of times, like, they would just do their thing and they would go out. She didn't, well, one, she said if he even took her out, because there were times where he didn't even want to take her out. He actually treated her very bad. So she hates that he gets this, like, rep for being, like, such a good guy, you know, because she's like, he wasn't very nice to me. He was very abusive. Ooh, Marilyn's talking. This is crazy, guys. Ooh. I didn't know this about John, actually, so she's telling me this. I like John F. Kennedy, so the fact that I'm hearing this and I'm saying it, trust me, guys, she's saying it. She's telling me to tell you guys this. Like, she's saying that he was very abusive. And Robert was too. Like, Robert was a little bit nicer to her, but John was very abusive. Like, he was even abusive to Jackie. Like, but unlike, she didn't feel good enough to be, like, seen. Like, he oftentimes would tell her, like, oh, like, I like you her, what is the word she's saying? I like you in the background. I don't want you to be seen. I don't want you to be seen. That's what she keeps telling me. I want you to be just my, kind of like his sex object. That's it. That's all she was to him. And she's really stressing this point because she hates that he's put on this pedestal. She's also saying that she's saying that John was, like, very racist, like, but he claimed that he wasn't, like, or he portrayed like he wasn't, you know. She's saying that he was very good at getting people to like him. He was very charming. He did and said things very like, in a very sweet way. I'm dying to know what this man's sign is. What is John? Oh my god. She's stressing this guy. She's stressing that okay, he's a Gemini. Wow. Okay. John F. Kennedy is a Gemini. That makes sense why she's saying this. She's a Gemini too, but she's saying that John was the type of person that was very charming, and he's very good at getting people to fall for his charm. You know, so whatever else is in his chart, guys, I'm not saying all Geminis are manipulative, but they do have that split personality where they don't always show you everything, you know what I mean? But if you watch them, it comes out, you know, and I've dealt with Geminis too. They can be like this. But she would get upset with him because, like, he didn't want to show her off. He didn't want to talk to her like he talked to Jackie, and she was getting very jealous. So she said that she's saying that she had to, like, separate, or, you know, basically he just kind of, like, used her and disposed of her. Like, he did that a lot with women. He actually cheated on Jackie a lot. She's saying he cheated on Jackie a lot. She feels like, too, when her light was taken from her, she feels like she often lived her life in a lot of darkness, and, like, people never saw it because she always played this, like, very lovable, dumb blonde, like, character, and we all know that, you know, she played that character, but she played it to her detriment. She played it so well that people would meet her and they would just kind of, like, talk to her very slow, and a lot of times she had to learn to, like, stand up for herself. But I'm hearing that was kind of like her demise. Like, she started getting really sick of playing this role, playing this, like, image, and she started trying to rebel. But that's kind of, I'm hearing that's why she got murdered. That's basically why, because she wasn't she didn't want to do what they wanted her to do anymore. She wanted to be her own person. She wanted other roles, and movement and choices and decisions is in the reverse. As we know, that was her well, I'm hearing that was her demise. That was the thing that backfired on her, unfortunately. And um she couldn't, a lot of times she suffered from depression because of this. She got very down on herself. She was someone that loved a lot, when she loved, it was very hard for her to, I'm seeing with the Pisces and Aries, she would give her all in relationships, but she wanted to be wined and dined. She would see other, like, she dated a lot of men that just romanticized her and kind of just like let her, they just put her in that hoe or that slut, she's not saying that, I am, slut category, and it just really dimmed her light. She never really knew like proper love, not through her parents, not through um yeah, not through herself, you know what I mean? It was really hard for her. And you know what, when Marilyn Monroe, being a Leo rising, when she walked in a room, like, people stared, people loved the way she looked, but she liked this for the most part. She does like the attention because she is a Leo rising. Gosh, let's be real. Um, because in a sense, like, that was like her validation, but it wasn't all that she was. And Marilyn desperately, like, wanted someone to see that. She wanted someone to see her potential, not just with her beauty, but her brains. Like, guys, she's very astute. Like, she's very observant, I'm hearing. She took in a lot, especially being a Mars and Pisces. Like, she saw a lot more than what people gave her credit for. She really paid attention to, like, the details in life and just everyone's emotions. She picked up easily on everyone's emotions, I'm hearing from her. Um, and it just sucks. She just hates that she wasn't given that chance. And when she tried to break out of that role that she was deemed in for life, like, it just really got to her. She keeps mentioning Hugh Hefner. She said that Hugh Hefner really was the first person that, like, saw her for who she was. And he just had that gift to him, she's saying. Like, he gets a bad rep, but he really had a way of making women feel like he really had a way of making them feel understood and heard. It's like, yeah, he treated them like a sex object, but when you got behind closed doors with him, she's saying, like, he really, like, helped you to see, like, I don't know, she's saying, like, he really saw you for who you were. He had that gift. So I don't know what Hugh Hefner's sign is. But he saw Marilyn for who she was. Like, he was like the first dude. She's not saying dude, I am. He was the first guy or man that saw me for who I was. Saw me. It's like, yeah, he told her to dye her hair blonde, but she did it because he saw her for who she was, and she really loves that. She feels like he gets a bad rep. She feels like he's very sweet, he's very kind to women. But it's just crazy, guys, how that was like the first thing she wanted to talk about was John F. Kennedy. Like, that's so crazy. Um, so let's see what else comes out for her. She feels like, too, with the patient and planning card, financial and material changes. Um, she wasn't used to, like, having money, so when she got money, she kind of, like, would blow it on stupid things. She's telling me, like, on things that didn't really benefit her. She loved, which it makes sense because she wrote that, or she didn't write it, but that song "Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend." She loves diamonds. That's true. I'm hearing she loves pearls. She likes anything that, you know um I mean, she is a Leo. That's flashy. A Leo rising. That's flashy. She likes it. But also, I'm hearing from her that she used that as a way. So even though she never felt understood, she never really liked opening up at the same time to people, because it's like she took on that facade, like that role. Like, well, if people think that I'm like this, then I guess I am like this. She let other people's ideas of her really. She has Neptune in her chart, Mars and Neptune. Well, Mars and Pisces, but that's Neptune, ruled by Neptune. So people tend to put, like, their beliefs on her, and that's like what I'm feeling her saying. Like, if people think I'm this person, then I guess I'm going to be this person, and I'm gonna, like I say about Leos, if you think I'm fake, or you think I'm this type of character, then I'm going to do that. I'm going to live it to its fullest extent, and that's like what she did. I'm also hearing that she cares a lot about, kind of like Audrey Hepburn, but she never got to really show this. Like, she had a big heart for people that were homeless, and because she was an orphan too, and like single mothers, like she has like a really big heart for people that were suffering. It's like every time like she would try to show this, like she I don't know, like people would make her feel bad, or like they would say it was fake, or she's talking about that a lot. Like she really never got to show her heart, but like if you knew her personally, she's saying that she would stop and like talk to people, like she would address people by their names. She tried really hard to like remember people's faces and their names. And this is stuff we didn't get to hear about her. This is stuff we didn't get to see about her, but she has a very, guys, she has a very kind energy, but at the same time it's very delicate. Okay? It's very delicate at the same time. Like it's not that she's fragile, she's actually very strong. Like she has a very strong energy, but it's soft at the same time. It's not really overbearing, it's not overwhelming. She really has a caring soul, but unfortunately people think as well, because she's so beautiful, that she didn't care about people, or that she was vain. Like she got that a lot, like that she was vain. And she's saying, yes, at times I was vain. I did give in to certain, types of vanity, but if you got to know me, if you really knew me as a person, you would see that I was very kind. And she loves animals. Um, I never seen an animal around Marilyn in pictures and stuff, but because she was just made a sex symbol and that was it. But she hates that. She hates that image that people put her under. Like she liked it for a minute because it got her attention, and she's a Leo rising, guys. So it got her the validation that she never had before. Like she never felt wanted. Like she never felt accepted or truly admired. So when she got the fame and she got this, she is saying to me that she did kind of get a big head. She did get a big head about stuff, but she was very humble at the same time. I am feeling she's not giving herself credit, but I am feeling like she was humble to some degree. Like she just wanted to be loved. Like she just wants to be loved. It's so cute. Um, but she is seeking balance in like the spiritual realm. Yeah, she really believes in being kind to like others and treating others with respect. And she is telling me though that she did suffer because she grew up in that period of time. Like she did suffer from a bit of racism, but she saw, like, because she was so good at like empathizing, she saw the wrongness in it. She saw it. So guys, yeah, she grew up in that time period, but at the same time, she's acknowledging that. Like she's saying like I wasn't always good, and I didn't always do things in the best way, and I did. She's saying I did sleep around, like I did sleep, because I know people are going to be in the comments saying, oh, she slept with married men, right? Like she's saying that unfortunately, like the reason for her doing that, not that she's justifying it, but because in the spirit world, guys, it talks about, with my cards, like we do have to learn from our mistakes still. Like just because we die, it doesn't mean that we stop learning, right? So she is learning through her past, through transitioning. She is learning that what she did in the past was like wrong. Um, so we're gonna pull on that because I know people are gonna ask me about that. So, and guys, like I said, Marilyn didn't always move good. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, she's learned through, as I said, that guys, victory and success and temptation. She she's talking about, with these cards that just came out, she's talking about how she was so sick of like men using her that she started using them back. Like she started sleeping with them to get what she wanted. She was like, well, if they're gonna treat me like a sex object, I'm just gonna use them back. Like, and she felt like no one really cared about her. She felt like she was constantly getting like the short end of the stick in situations. So through this, she learned, we call it now being a savage. That's kind of the energy I'm feeling with the temptation card. Like she learned through that, like, okay, like, well, I'm gonna treat you how you treat me, which is very Pisces and Mars and Pisces of her. I'm gonna embody Leo rising. I'm going to embody this character. So she's talking about how, like, yeah, she did start doing things that You know, she was very big on like, it really hurt her doing these things, but like I said, she was pretty much doped up, she's telling me. So it's like it was easier for her to like not care, like if she hurt people, not care what happened to people when she would hurt them. And she started using um yeah, she just started feeling like her vision and what she wanted and the way she grew up. She started feeling not heard or understood, so she just kind of like played into this like bombshell woman sleeps with men to get what she wants, or you know, basically these skank like ways, I guess. She played into it. She did. And she's acknowledging that, and she's telling me that like, yeah, I did play into that stuff, because that, if they're gonna make me this person, and like I always say about Leo risings, like whether good or bad, sometimes they, when they're not evolved, they will play into what, especially Mars and Pisces, like they will play into that shit, you know, that people put onto them, these stigmas that people put onto them, you know, or just Pisces energy. And Gemini too, like, you know, she used like her other, I hate saying split personality, but she used that split side of herself to get what she wanted. So she's acknowledging that, and through this, she's learned. Marilyn also like is talking about how she wanted kids. Like she did want kids. She wanted to be a mother. She wanted that life, guys. She wanted to be loved. And unfortunately, that was her downfall of how much she, like how far she would go to get that. And plus, she's telling me that men would promise her things, and she would open up to them, and they would promise her all of these things and not come through. You know, which you can't blame her. I mean, we deal with that now. You know, and she's talking about too, she didn't really talk a lot, she's saying, or voice a lot of her opinions, because again, was always silenced, you know. But I'm hearing fertility, so I don't know if she's telling me she was pregnant or she wanted kids. I'm hearing more so wanted children, you know, she wanted kids, but never, or was forced to not have kids. So make of that what you will, guys. If she was told to get an abortion, or if they did things, I'm feeling like they did things to like not to make it so she couldn't have kids. That's what I'm hearing too, and she's telling me. But she desperately wanted kids, guys. She wanted a family. She wanted that fairy tale. Yeah, suffering in silence, I'm hearing too. A lot of things that Marilyn Monroe went through, she didn't talk about. She was very quiet. She moved very in private. You know, she would just self-medicate a lot. She would self-medicate, or they got her addicted to like pain pills and just other stuff too. I'm hearing drinking. She's talking about how she was very heavily into drinking, and it helped her. She said it helped her play this role. But ever since she was little, like all she's known is like pain, like all she's known is suffering. And she's talking about too like how people didn't see that about her, how people didn't realize that she was suffering. Like it's like, well, the people that tried to care about her, I guess, but the people that were around her, as long as she was making the money, as long as she played this like bimbo and this like role, she, people saw and people knew. She's talking about, oh my god, I hope I don't cry, oh my god, this is sad. um she's talking about how people like saw her suffering. People saw her discontentment, her discontentment, I hope that's a word. They saw her they saw her suffering, they saw her pain. But it's like they saw it but they didn't see it. I don't know, like it's weird. It's like, one, because she didn't talk about it, but two, it's because like she just felt like she deserved it. She felt like she deserved it. She felt like, well, I guess this is what life is about. I guess this is what, she didn't have a very good life, guys. Like, because like they just used her. She felt very used. She felt very thrown away. Um she never felt nurtured in her life. She felt like very unwanted in life, which is why she would move a lot of the ways that she would move, I'm seeing. And yeah, sacral chakra is coming out. She would use sex as a way to validate her feelings, validate feeling wanted. She would use sex as a way to or her sex appeal to get what she wanted, or she learned this was her way of, she's telling me this was her way of coping. Again, she's not saying that it was right. She's not saying that, because people hated her for like the longest time because they deemed her as, I don't know what they called it back then, but I'm gonna say slut or hoe or skank. She's not saying that, but I'm saying that. But they deemed her as this like man, and she's saying, yes, I played into that role. I would sleep with married men knowing that they were married. But she's also saying a lot of times she didn't know. She didn't know that they were married. She didn't know because you know how men are, guys. They could be dogs. Like, she didn't know. But also, it's like her intuition. She's saying her intuition would tell her that they were married, or that they were just using her, but she didn't listen. She's saying a lot to her intuition. And she did feel bad. She did feel bad, which has led to a lot of her self-medicating. She's saying why she would drink, or a lot of times she would go home with these men and she would be drunk. Like, she would wake up and not remember what happened the next morning. She would wake up not knowing what happened, or I'm hearing that she was taken advantage of a lot. I'm hearing like she was raped a lot. When she would try to say no, when she would try to put her foot down in whatever capacity, this is what she's telling me led to her downfall, led to her being murdered. More so in her movie business life. She wanted to break out. She wanted to actually stop making movies. She wanted to stop being this like persona, and they didn't like that. They wanted her to do what they wanted. So she's telling me, guys, she's saying she was murdered. Like, so I wouldn't just say that, guys. I'm hearing that very clearly. And when she talks about it, and when she says murdered, she gets very emotional. I'm just like a hard ass Capricorn, so I'm not crying. I'm not gonna force myself to cry, but I am very emotional. So guys, this was very heavy. Marilyn had a very, very hard life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it breaks her heart. I mean, she understands why certain people don't like her, or why she has this persona of being a what is the word? Like interrupting relationships. And she's saying, yes, I did that sometimes. Like, she's acknowledging, because I know I'm gonna get comments that like, well, I feel like Marilyn Monroe knew what she was doing. Like, she's acknowledging that, guys. She's acknowledging that she did that. But when she was on this earth, she moved very selfishly. She moved because she wanted that validation. She wanted to feel wanted. She was promised things from certain types of men, and eventually she believed it. She fell for it. A lot of times she lived that role. And like I always say about Leo energy or Neptune in someone's chart, like when they are put on this, like when someone puts this role on them so much, just as people, like, we start believing that. When it's said to you so many times, and you didn't have a proper upbringing, like Marilyn, she never had like parents to guide her. She kind of like was guided. She grew up in the movie industry, and they were trying to push her into music too, and she just like really didn't like that. um she's very gifted, and they played with that, and she's telling me that she just was used her whole life. Like, and you guys, like, I love her. I'm not saying a lot of it was right, okay, guys? Please don't think I'm choosing to excuse what she did, okay? Because I know some people are gonna be like, you're biased. It's like, no, like, as an empath, I'm not gonna sit here and, you know, um, you know, what is the word? I'm not gonna sit here and just be like bashing the celebrity. If you want someone that does that, then click off this channel, because I'm not gonna do that. And I'm definitely not gonna just be, nice about them because they did what they did. No, Marilyn did move selfishly. She did. And I love her, but yes, a lot of the choices she made were her fault, some of them, and she's acknowledging that. Like I said, in the spiritual world, um, we grow in the spiritual world too. So she's realized a lot of that, and she's beating herself up for it, and that's why she hasn't transitioned. And because she was murdered, you know what I'm saying? So she feels very lost to me, like a very lost soul type of energy. She feels like she's been in a loop. I keep hearing a loop for her. So guys, let me know what you guys think about this reading. It was very deep. Oh my god, my ears are plugged, so I was like really in the tea. Let me know what you guys think. I've been wanting to do a reading on Marilyn Monroe for like the longest time. Like, I love her so much. And she was very misunderstood, guys. She was very misunderstood. She feels, even to this day, like that's why she can't transition, because she just feels like who she was on this earth wasn't who she really wanted to be. She feels like so much, she's still talking to me, she feels like so much of who she wasn't, she wasn't allowed to express it, you know? And she gave in to like the vanity of of this persona that people put her under. She's very grateful for like being the bombshell and like starting the movement of the curvy movement, but at the same time she wanted to be more than that, you know? It's so sad, you know? It's so sad, her story, I feel it. She hates it. She hates that people only look at her looks, you know, because she, when she would speak, if you look at some, I'm gonna put like quotes of what she would say throughout my video, but listen to some of her quotes. Like, she's very wise, like, and she wanted to show that more, but unfortunately she got typecasted in life as this like this bombshell, this and she has Mercury and Gemini. Mercury and Gemini people are very smart, they're very intuitive, very observant, very astute, you know what I mean? And she has that, guys. Like, it just sucks, you know, that she hates that she didn't really get a chance to go to school. She did she go to a Catholic school? I'm hearing something about trying to go to Catholic school, or thinking about going to Catholic school, or she was put in a Catholic school, something like that. But it didn't last very long. She really liked books and like reading and like um just being like knowledge. She liked knowledge. She liked a like she had to do this in private though. Really in private. Wow. She's telling me a lot, guys. This is crazy. Very smart though, very wise for her age at that time. Um but like I said, like, you know, certain people get typecasted in life for certain things, and she really hates that and feels for those people, because she sees it even now to this day in the music and the movie industry. She sees it. You know what's funny? She actually relates, her and Marilyn Monroe and Lindsay Lohan relate a lot to each other, and I feel like Marilyn relates a lot to Lindsay, and Lindsay relates a lot to Marilyn. And if I'm not mistaken, Lindsay Lohan's a Cancer. I feel like Lindsay's very connected to Marilyn. It's a weird dynamic I just heard, but she relates a lot to people like, you know, Anna Nicole. Like, she relates a lot to the people like that, because Bridget Bardot even, because like they connect with her, you know? So anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. Do you like these throwback readings? I'm gonna do more. I want to do one on Audrey Hepburn, Elvis Presley, David Bowie, stuff like that. I want to have this series of like old souls, like in the, you know, 50s, 40s, 30s, 60s, 70s. So let me know, guys, who else you would like me to do throwback readings for. Yeah, so I hope you guys have a good day or night. I hope you enjoyed this reading on Marilyn Monroe. I really enjoyed reading on her. Love and light, guys. Bye.